How can you tell if wet drywall needs to be replaced?
Often it's hard to tell because drywall can be wet and not show any signs of damage. And especially what's behind that drywall, there may be insulation. And if that's wet as well, it's really tough to dry that out. It's important to get some professionals on site like Paul Davis Restoration. We have thermal cameras, we have moisture meters. We can use this specialty equipment to determine what is wet, how extensive this water damage is, and make some good recommendations on what to do about it.
How do you treat walls after water damage?
If that wall is severely wet and damaged, it may need to be cut out and removed. Often, we can salvage and keep those walls in place and dry out that wall structure without doing some major demolition. It depends on how extensive things are, and that's something that our team would get on site, assess, make some recommendations, and then work with the customer and with their insurance company about how to move forward.
Who do you call for water damage in walls?
We would hope that you would call Paul Davis Restoration. We can bring in some specialty equipment like thermal cameras, moisture meters. We can determine how extensive the water damage is, what walls are wet, what ceilings are wet, what areas are dry and wet. And then we can make some assessments and recommendations on how to clean that up in the most effective and lowest cost way.
Is it safe to live in a house with water damage?
Normally, it's probably pretty safe. It might be very inconvenient depending on where that water damage has occurred. And if the water damage is so severe that you can't utilize your home, you may need to move out and find a temporary home for some time. All day, this restoration would help with that determination and assessment and help communicate with your insurance company about that additional living expenses and finding a place to stay while the cleanup and the repair happens.
What is the biggest concern with water damage?
One is making sure the property is stable and safe. Long term water damage can create some unhealthy environments, some mold, and some problems that could affect people's health. So, eliminating that source of water and cleaning it up quickly and effectively will eliminate those concerns.
Can I sleep in a room with water damage?
Well, you may be able to sleep in that room depending on how extensive that water damage is, but we would want to be careful and smart about it. Sometimes water damage comes from sewage, and a room full of sewage damage would not be comfortable to sleep in. So, our recommendation would be to get an expert on site, do an assessment, determine the extent of that water damage, and then make a decision from there.